today with a bunch of new news, a bunch of info. Yeah, so I'll try not to make this too long. This will kind of be my 35 to 37 week update. If you see me looking down, that's where my notes are, because like I said, I have a lot to fill you guys in on and I don't want to ramble or make this too long, so let's hop right into it. So first things first, I'll just tell you guys some of the symptoms I've been having. I am, by the way, currently 38 weeks and 1 day right now. The date is April 4th. Yeah, so I am 38 weeks and 1 day. Currently, sleeping is still going horribly. If anything, it is worse because I'm so heavy. When I turn, on either side, it's like the stomach is pulling down, so you try to put a pillow up under there, but then the back is hurting, so it's a pillow up under there. And sometimes it helps if there's something in between my legs. You see in the background my pregnancy pillow. It is more of a lifesaver nowadays, but quite frankly, trying to sleep still sucks. It is what it is. I'm so close at this point, so I just try to sleep as best as I can when I can, but that's just what it is. Definitely been having contractions or more painful Braxton Hicks. I go for stress tests at the doctor's every week now, along with ultrasounds. And randomly while I'm having a stress test, the nurse will ask me like, "Oh, do you feel that contraction? Do you feel your tummy tightening?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's all the time." So there's that going on. Some of them have gone to the point though where like I have to kind of stop in the middle of walking or what I'm doing and breathe. But they're never like consistent or on a regular basis or like an active labor thing. It just seems like something that happens now. Swollen feet is definitely a thing. Yeah, swollen feet is definitely a thing now. If I come in from walking around, because I refuse to just sit down though. Like, I'm going to stay active. I feel like it helps with recovery afterwards. It helps with labor. It helps to pass my time, to make me feel better. And yeah, if it's going to progress things in any way, then that's what I'm all for. So I'm going to stay active. So like I was saying before camera, definitely just fell, but we're going to move past that. I'm going to stay active. So yeah, I'm still like grocery shopping. I'm still walking around Walmart. I'm still going places out and about when I can. Of course, if it's a day where I just feel like, no, I need to rest, I'm respecting my body and what it's telling me and doing that. But when I feel like I can, I'm up and at 'em. So yeah, but anytime after that, or if I'm even like doing laundry, going up and down my stairs and things like that, by the time I do sit down and take my feet out of whatever they're in, they're swollen. And sometimes even just randomly, they're swollen. That's that. So on to more, I guess, exciting news. The past couple of ultrasounds I've had, baby has been breached. So at my last doctor's appointment, which was Thursday before last, well, the doctor's appointment before my last one, which was a Thursday before last, they checked again, and I guess being this far along, they're like, okay, baby's still breached. So they gave me the option to have basically a procedure done which will attempt to turn her, called an, I'll correct myself on the screen if I'm wrong, extracephalic version. And that's basically where they would go in, two doctors manually with their hands and attempt to turn her manually. Once they told me the risk of it, like it could put baby in distress, which could send me to labor. It could put me in distress, which could send me into labor. That could equal them having to do an emergency C-section then, and all of these things. I was very nervous about it, wasn't sure, but it could also be successful and baby be head down, and then I would be able to just progress normally and go on to have a regular natural vaginal delivery, which is what ultimately I was wanting. So I figured that I'd rather attempt to be able to do that than to just take it and be like, no, just give me the C-section. I wanted to know that looking back, I had done everything I could to get to a regular vaginal delivery. So I ended up saying, okay, I'll do it. So this past Monday, I actually went in and did the ECV. It did not work. It was very uncomfortable, and I have a pretty high pain tolerance. Like, it takes a lot for me to get to the point where I'm like yelling and stuff like that. Very good with deep breathing. I understand the power that has, and just generally, like I said, I have a high pain tolerance, but it was very uncomfortable. It was painful at times. My belly was so sore afterwards. It felt like someone was like boxing with my stomach, and I generally just felt bad to like have done that to the baby, because I'm sure she was in there like, what the hell is going on? Because the way they were pushing, like the doctor's arm was like at some points kind of shaking, and yeah, and it did not work. So they did that or whatever. She kept moving back. They kept saying like, oh, she's stubborn, but they did get to her to a point where she was head down. And then afterwards, they had to monitor me and baby to make sure no distress happened, monitor her heart rate, mine, make sure my border didn't break, anything like that that would equal them having to take me into a C-section or me going into labor. So they monitored me for 2 hours afterwards. At the end of the 2 hours, doctor comes back in and is like, okay, well, everything looks good as far as like you not going into labor. Let's check ultrasound. Honestly, at that point, though, I had already kind of felt her go back, and of course when she put the ultrasound on, she's like, wow, okay, she's stubborn. She is back in that exact same position that she started in. And she basically told me, so at her next doctor's appointment, most likely what they'll do is go ahead and schedule you a C-section. So yeah, so then I had to wrap my mind around that. That was on Monday. I knew that my next doctor's appointment was going to be Thursday. So I go back Thursday. My doctor says, you know, I see the ECV did not work, so we're going to go ahead and schedule a C-section. They also brought up that they're noticing the same thing with my son, is that she's not growing at the rate they would like her to. She's a little small. She's probably, like they said, under 6 pounds still. My son was 5 pounds, 14 ounces. So yeah, they were like, also for that reason, we probably would have went ahead and induced you anyway after 38 weeks, but because she's also breech, we're going to just schedule a C-section. So that's where we are. So C-section has been scheduled. Like I said, today is Sunday, and they scheduled my C-section for this coming Tuesday, April 6th. So I have about 2 days, and I'll be having a C-section. It's definitely been something to wrap my mind around. Like I said, I've had 2 natural vaginal births before this, so this is my first C-section. What I've always have respected and loved about those vaginal births, even though I wasn't able to get a C-section, was that immediate sense of relief after I pushed the kids out. And being able to be in the recovery room, up, walking around, holding them, breastfeeding, bending up and down, kind of getting back home, and even though you need rest, still being up and about. And obviously with a C-section, that's not the case. But you also have to get to a point as a woman, as a grown-up, as a mom, where it's like whatever's going to get this baby out safest for me and for her. So that's where we are. And I just had to start looking at the positives of it. For example, I will not have to go through the labor and the horrible contractions. So there is that plus side. And the simple fact that, quite frankly, I won't be pregnant anymore in a couple of days makes me very happy. And the fact that she'll be here and I'll get to meet her. Nothing tops that. So yes, that's what it is. So this is going to be like my last pregnancy update. At the end, of course, I'll give you guys the belly shot. This will be the last belly shot. I'll be honest, I asked them about tying my tubes while they were in there, but they said something about usually they have to know a month in advance, and because this kind of came out of nowhere, they probably couldn't do it. So that pissed me off, I'm not gonna lie. Eventually, once I am healed up, maybe down the line, that is a plan of mine though. I don't want to have any more children. birth controls affect my body horribly. I'll do like another video about that, but that's the best course for me. So I wish they would do it while they already had me open, but it is what it is. So yeah, C-section is scheduled. Like I said, I do feel like I'm all ready for her. Yeah, her nursery, she's actually gonna be like her crib and stuff like that. She's sharing a room with my son who's 7. I'll insert a clip of kind of how I've incorporated that together for them. But of course, at first, she's gonna be right here in the room with me and Alex in her bassinet, little bedside nursery kind of setup. But yeah, I'm ready for her. Her clothes are all washed. Things are all, anything I feel like I need, I have it. And yeah, definitely ready for her. So that's exciting. Like I said, I'm still nervous, I'm not gonna lie, but I am excited to know that her birthday will be April 6th and today's April 4th. So that's exciting. Yeah, so this has shown me that every pregnancy is definitely different. It's a different experience every time. Like I said, with my daughter, my first pregnancy, I was actually past my due date. It was one of those things where I get up to go use the bathroom, my water broke, and I'm walking through the house, kind of laboring, contracting. By the time we finally settled, I said, okay, let's just go. Went to the hospital. I was 6 centimeters already. In less than an hour, they checked me again. I was 10 centimeters, 3 pushes. She was out, no tearing. Boom. Next time with my son, it was I thought a regular checkup. He's small. We're actually going to induce you in 2 days. I got induced. That was the whole cervidil experience, waiting for labor to come on, experiencing Pitocin, no epidural again. And pushing him out. He was 5 pounds, 14 ounces, had tears, had to deal with that. That was a totally different experience. And now this one, my third and final pregnancy to go through, you know, breech baby and ECVs and now scheduled C-section has really humbled me to what we as moms go through, and just really showed me like every time is different. And quite frankly, while I will miss the beauty of being pregnant, I'll miss rubbing on my belly, as uncomfortable as it's making me right now. It's not something I want to do again, and that's fine to say, I think. Well, I know that's totally fine to say. Then you can feel 2 things at once: that it was beautiful and that you loved it, and that you realize the beauty in what your body has done, but that you also don't want to do it again. And I'm just fine with coming to that realization. So yeah, like I said, this is going to be my final pregnancy update. Like I said, it's been really beautiful to do again, especially after 7 years. It kind of felt like the first time. Feeling the kicks, feeling her there, knowing, finding out what it is again, having a baby shower, like the whole thing's just been, it's just been a good experience. It really has. Even going through the horrible first trimester of morning sickness and things like that, once you get to the end and it's, you know, realize it's going to be over, you accept the beauty in all of that and realize that there will be a new life here. So the next time you guys see a video from me, more than likely it will be my labor and delivery story. Yeah, and I'll have her, you know, with me, introduce her to you guys, let you see. I'm not really, like I said, I'm not a vlogger. I do believe that like all of that stuff, going through it in the hospital and stuff, is kind of private. Is that hypocritical of me? Because I love watching the labor and delivery videos, but for me personally, I don't see myself vlogging while I'm in the hospital. Maybe I'll get a few clips and things like that. I'll try to get pictures and have Alex take pictures and stuff like that, so that those can kind of be inserted into my labor and delivery story. But I will definitely share the experience once it's done. I try to get my videos out at least every week or so. I try. But obviously with this going on and recovering from a C-section and stuff, it may be a little while. So I would say at least, guys, give me 2 weeks. I'll try and, like I said, come back as soon as possible. If you watch till the end, you'll see on my thanks for watching like end page, I do have my Instagram, and so if you guys want to check me out there, you will be able to see more updates before I actually get around to posting my labor and delivery video. Yeah, the story of that. So wish me luck, guys. And yeah, I'll give you guys the final belly shot, and then I will end the video out there. Okay, so let's see, best way for me to do this. Here's the final belly shot. 9 months, 38 weeks. That is the belly, guys. It's so freaking like low now, as you can see. And yeah, that is what 9-month belly looks like. 38 weeks. Last belly shot before I had baby girl. All right, guys, thanks so much, and I will see you guys later. Bye.